Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, hello everyone. My name is Thoriq Abdullah. You can call me Thoriq. Now I want to record about that I want to record shadowings. So, first later the video will explain like what he say, and then later what I must following the uh, the voice. Okay, let's go with that.
My first job out of college was at Procter & Gamble. First as a sales rep, then a manager with 3 reps reporting to me. They were in their 40s. I was 26. And frankly, I had no idea how to be a manager. I rode with them every 2 weeks, visiting stores, yet rarely giving any feedback. I was in awe.
My first job out of college was at Protect and Gamble, first as a sales rep, then a manager with 3 reps reporting to me. They were in their 40s. I was 26. And frankly, I had no idea how to be a manager. I worked with them every 2 weeks, visiting stores, yet rarely give me any feedback. I was in awe.
Then it came time for year-end reviews. I compiled a list of things I thought each person could do to improve. And I launched into my review with Rich. And about 3 minutes in, he cut me off.
Then it came time for a year-end reviews. I compiled a list of things I thought each person could do not improve, and I launched into my review with Rich. In about 3 minutes, he cut me off.
Hey, wait a minute, Joe. You ride with me every 2 weeks and you've never said any of these things? What the heck?
Hey, wait a minute, Joe. You ride with me every 2 weeks, and you never said any of these things. What the heck?
I was mortified. He taught me something in that moment. Leadership isn't about role or position, it's about generosity. We need generous leaders, those who give of themselves freely without expectation of personal gain, so others can develop, grow, and thrive at their full potential.
I was mortified. He taught me something in that moment. Leadership isn't about role or position. Isn't about generosity. We need generous leaders, those who give of themselves freely, with an expression of personal gain, so others can develop, grow, and thrive at their full potential.
Now, since P&G, I've worked across multiple roles at BCG, the Boston Consulting Group, overseeing teams of 3 people to 7,000. I also had the privilege of interviewing a number of executives across many industries for my book on generous leadership.
Now, since P&G, I have worked across multiple roles at BCG, the Boston Consulting Group, overseeing teams of 3 people to 7,000. I also had the privilege of interviewing a number of executives across many industries for my book on generous leadership.
And let me tell you, what a leader is and what is demanded of them have changed. We now want and need to bring our human selves to work, and we expect to see humanity in our leaders. But let me
And let me tell you what is a leader. A leader is and what is demanded of them have changed. We know what to know what need to bring our human selves to work, and we expect to see humanity in our leaders.
be very clear. Being generous is not simply about being nice. As Joaquin Duato, CEO of Johnson & Johnson, put it very plainly, outcomes do matter. A leader must get results. But the sooner they can look past themselves and connect more deeply and personally with their people and help unlock all the essential human traits of their team, the sooner they will drive to those results.
But let me be very clear. Being injurious is not simply about being nice. As Joaquin Duato, CEO of Johnson & Johnson, put it very plainly, outcomes do matter. A leader must get results, but the sinners, they can look past themselves and connect more deeply and personally with their people, and help unlock all the essential human traits of their team. The sooner they will drive to those results.
So, how do you be a generous leader? There are 7 traits underpinning generous leadership. Today, I'd like to touch on 3. Tip
So how do you be a generous leader? There are 7 traits underpinning generous leadership. Today I like to touch on 3.
number 1, be curious and listen generously. No doubt you've heard this advice before, and maybe you consider yourself a good listener.
Tip number 1. Be curious and listen generously. No doubt you have heard this advice before, and maybe you consider yourself a good listener.
But let me ask you this. To whom are you listening? The senior team? Your own leadership team? How about your direct reports, direct reports, direct report?
But let me ask you, to what are you listening? The senior team? Your own leadership team? How about your direct report?
Have you asked your assistant for their insights? Generous listeners ignore the traditional barriers of titles and hierarchy. They ask and listen. They listen to learn. And with that respect, they inspire others.
Have you asked your assistant for their insight? Generous listeners ignore the traditional barriers of title and hierarchy. They ask and listen. They listen to learn. And with that respect, they inspire others.
Take Scott Kirby, CEO of United Airlines. Anytime someone's getting promoted to an officer position at United,
Thanks Scott Kirby, CEO of United Airlines. Anytime someone is getting promoted to an officer position at United,
he schedules a one-on-one interview with them. Can you
he scheduled a one-on-one interview with him.
imagine how rare that is?
Can you imagine how rare that is?
CEO interviewing every VP candidate?
CEO interviewing every VP candidate.
When I interviewed Scott for my book, he recalled sitting down
When I interviewed Scott for my book,
with 3 candidates for vice president of
he recalled sitting down with 3 candidates
operations. Each started as technicians,
for vice president of operations.
the people out on
Each started as technicians.
the tarmac, doing maintenance every day to keep
The people out of the tarmac doing maintenance every day
passengers safe and the planes on time.
to keep passengers safe and the planes on time.
It is a critical function, but many, many layers away from the CEO.
It's a critical function, but many, many layers away from the CEO.
But Scott was still curious enough to ask them, what do technicians need
But Scott was still curious enough to ask them, what do technical needs most?
most? And each of those candidates said the same thing. Sir, we don't have enough spare parts on site.
And each of those candidates said the same thing. Sir, we don't have enough spare parts on site.
Scott said, that was such an epiphany for me.
Scott said, that was such an epiphany for me.
Our technicians on the front line, of course, want to do well.
Our technicians on the front line, of course, want to do well.
But when they don't have the spare parts on hand, they can't do
But when they don't have the spare parts of hand,
their job with pride.
they can do their job with pride.
So while Scott knew the financial people would not be pleased,
So while Scott now the financial people will not be pleased,
he said, I increased parts in the airport
he said, I increase part in the airport
as I believe
as I believe supporting the pride in our
supporting the pride in our technicians would pay bigger dividends.
what pay big dividends.
Asking and listening helps you better solve tough challenges. But
Asking and listening helps you better solve the challenge.
crucially, it shows respect.
But crucially, it shows respect.
It tells the person you see them as a human with valuable insight.
It tells the person you see them as a human with valuable insights.
Tip number 2, Be vulnerable, put down the mask.
Put down the
Easier said than done, I fear. When I was a young
easier said than done, I fear.
leader, I felt so much
When I was a young leader,
pressure to have all the answers.
I felt so much pressure to have all the answers.
It never occurred to me to be vulnerable.
It never occurred to
I'm not even sure I
be vulnerable.
knew what the word meant.
I'm not even sure I knew what the word.
And even today, many wonder, what does it mean?
And even today, many wonder what does it mean.
Well, here's an example. I was talking with a colleague about his own vulnerabilities. He said that if he
Well, here's an example. I was talking with a colleague about his own vulnerabilities.
sensed his team was getting lost and they might ask
He said that if he sensed his team was getting lost,
him what to do, and he also
and they might ask him what to do,
didn't know what to do,
and he also didn't know what to do,
he would literally get up and leave the room
he would literally get up and leave the room
rather than say, I don't know.
rather than say, I don't know.
Real productive, huh?
Real productive, huh?
Finally, one day he thought, this is silly.
Finally, one day he thought this is it.
He stayed in the room and he admitted, I don't know either.
He stayed in the room and he admitted, I don't know what either.
And he was astonished at what happened next. The room
And he was astonished at the happened that
erupted with energy and ideas.
the room had erupted with energy and ideas.
Since the boss didn't know,
Since the boss didn't know,
it was okay for everyone to move past their fear, their roadblocks, acknowledge their own vulnerability, and get to
the room, since the boss didn't know, it was okay for everyone to move past their fear, their roadblock, acknowledge their own vulnerability, and get to work figuring it out.
work figuring it out. Nothing for you to gain. That's the true
Tip number 3: be generous in the moment, in very moment, especially when there's nothing for you to.
definition of generosity.
That's the true definition of generosity.
I was talking to a leader at one of the most
I was talking to a leader
prestigious firms in the world.
of one of the most prestigious firms in the world.
He recalled sitting in a gorgeous conference room
He recalled sitting in a generous conference
with a view of the city that doesn't quit,
with a view of the city doesn't
with 9 other leaders
with 9 other leaders
deciding the fate of
deciding the fate of
today's young interviewees. First candidate, great interview scores, super grades, solid resume. She's in. Number 2, average across the board. That's a no. Number 3, knocked it out of the park on the interviews. Top scores across the board. Wow, someone said. We don't see this very often. Wait a minute, another person spoke up. He has a mid 2.0 college
He has a mid to college
GPA. We know people in that grade range
People in that grade range
just don't last here. Conversation went back and forth, got a bit heated, but the
got a bit heated, but the mood swung to a no.
mood swung to a no. And then my friend, who had been sitting there silently,
Who had been sitting there silently hiding his time,
biding his time, just listening, spoke up. I have to tell you all something I've never told anyone here before. I had those grades in college. What can I say? I wasn't focused. But you know what? I got my act together, got into business school, got hired here, made senior partner, and now I'm the head of this office. What do you say we give this young man a chance too?
I have to tell you something I've never told anyone here before. I had those grades in college. What can I say? I wasn't focused, but you know what? I got my act together, got into business school, got hired here, met senior partner, and now I'm the head of this office. What do you think we give this young man a chance to?
Now, this is a lovely story.
No, this is a lovely story.
But here's why it's interesting.
But here why is interesting?
Because it didn't matter whatsoever to this
Because I didn't matter whatsoever to this
executive if this young man was
if this young
tired.
man was
There are
tired.
plenty of other candidates.
There were plenty of other candidates.
Why would he make this vulnerable
Why would he make this vulnerable
admission to save a mere stranger? Because that's what it means to be generous in the moment, to take each and every opportunity you get to help others grow and thrive at their full potential, even when you personally have nothing to gain. Generosity is what will move you from the good manager category to an exceptional leader. Your people are not only motivated by your dazzling strategy,
your people are not only motivated by your dazzling strategy,
your brilliant plans, your inspiring targets and metrics. When they see you bring your full heart into your leadership and share your humanity, that is when they will follow you anywhere. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Okay, maybe that's all from me. If I have some mistake, sorry if I have some mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.